Quick go bag that has my meter.
And what brand is this?
This is a Veto Pac, and this is just for meters. This is their meter bag.
Hi, Mitch Bailey here. I'm with Steve D'Amico. He's our comfort advisor. He hates that term, but really basically what he is, he's the guy that goes out, looks at your home, figures out what you need, and then tells you what you should do to take care of your home, make sure that it's performing like it's supposed to, that it's getting the efficiency and the capacity out of it. All right, so you guys asked for it. What's in his bag? Let's get started.
Okay, so I drive around in pickup trucks, and most all the stuff you see here just sits in the back behind my seat. I have a real quick go bag that has my meter.
And what brand is this?
This is a Veto Pac, and this is just for meters. This is their meter bag. I carry with it a 6-in-1 that is ratcheting. I like this one specific. It's by Ideal. I got this at an electrical supply store, and the base of it actually allows you to loosen or tighten your wire nuts from big to small, and you can get a big grip on it, and you really get them things tight so that they don't come loose on you and start arcing. The other thing I carry is just kind of a universal electrical tool that lets me do everything from strip wire, cut sheathing, and it's got flats on it like a regular pair of pliers, so I can kind of reach in and grab things. It's got an insulated handle, so I'm not completely worried about getting electrocuted, but you know, there's no excuse for not using common sense.
So what's in this little pocket here?
This little pocket right here is all of the little accessories. So I carry the screw-on alligator clips so that I can just attach and leave it on, and also the little things like the little piercing probe stuff that I can put a cap on and shorten my probes. So I keep those kind of separated.
And what do you got? Yeah, what do you got in here? Yeah,
in here, I carry a basic. This is a Fluke non-contact voltmeter. It just beeps at you and shows you some red lights if you're getting hot. Sometimes it's a lot easier to just scan across something real quick and see if you get a beep before you start hooking stuff up. I carry two sizes and different variations of the theme. I carry the wide-jawed jumpers, and I carry the small jumpers. So it just kind of depends on what you're trying to get a hold of. Most of you guys in the field know sometimes just trying to jump from R to W1, and you can't get your clips to hold onto those little screws.
All right, what's in the main part of the bag?
The main bag, that which makes it a meter bag, is my meter. And I carry the Redfish clamp meter. So
why do you like the Redfish?
The Redfish allows me to interface with my cell phone, with MeasureQuick. It integrates with pretty much everything that we have to work with right now, with a few minor exceptions. It also does non-contact voltage. It will do. It has a small light, so if you can't see what you're trying to clamp onto, the little light will come on. You can do power factor. It'll tell you where you're at on the curve, if it's leading or lagging. Plus, it does your amperage, kilowatts, watts, all the way up and down the entire thing. But it communicates with all of the software that we use, and that's important because these days it's not enough to test it. You got to prove it, and that's getting it into the software is how we prove it. So that's the quick go bag to see what's going on.
So this one, how much did this cost you, the bag?
I think I got this for like 99 bucks or 129 bucks. It was on sale. So I grabbed it from Retrotec Tools. It's got a handle, so you can just kind of carry it in.
And it has a belt clip too, so you can clip it to your belt. So it's got a belt clip. I usually clip it onto my back pocket, and then I can go wherever. Belt clip, so you can clip it, and that way you can put it on. It doesn't weigh, I don't know, what does it weigh, about maybe 2 pounds?
2 pounds.
Yeah.
The other thing I carry another form of the 6-in-1, and this is just for thermostats and small controls. Okay. And you can pull these off, and they give you a couple of different sizes, and that's been one of the handiest things I've ever bought, and it's by Klein. So if you guys are in a place where they sell a lot of Klein, take a look for them, because that makes a big difference.
So what did the Redfish cost, do you think? You remember?
About 300 bucks.
Okay, I'll post it on so you guys can see what it cost. Yeah. All right, so this is this bag.
Yep, that's my quickie bag. Now, in my main bag here, I got this back in 2017.
Slide it over.
And I had a different Veto Pac that was a bit smaller, and I outgrew that. I was doing a lot more service work at that time, and I was a lot younger, so I didn't have a problem slinging this 50-pound pack on my back and then scaling a ladder and trying to get back up on the roof. Now that's a lot easier said than saddled and rode. Anyway, what's in my bag?
So first off, this is the Veto bag. Which one is it? Do you know?
That's the, let me see, that's the Tech Pack, because it does have your straps. So you can, you can just.
There's a carry handle here.
Yeah.
You've got your straps right here, and it has a different loop here. So this is, I guess, when you're roping it up.
Yeah. Well, no, actually. So
that comes off.
You can take this off so you can get in it, and then if you're going to rope it up, it gives you one.
Oh, it has a rope hook built into it, which is cool.
Which I've used twice, I think.
Yeah. Well, if it's a 50-pound pack, I'm going to rope that up. I'm not going to try to kind of walk up the ladder with it.
Nowadays, yeah.
What did this cost you remember?
That was $2.99.
$2.99?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll post it on there.
It was like a limited edition. It's got the TrueTech Tools logo on it.
So my question is, can you get a bigger beaner?
Yes, I could, actually, but I would have to drag this whole thing behind my truck, so I'm not going to do it.
All right. So that being said, what's inside this thing?
Just the basics. Really just the basics. And I can't say it's in the best of shape, but I've got my drill driver, and I like having the larger platform batteries because I can just let my gun.
Do you usually lay it down, or you leave it stand up?
I just lay it in the bottom of my truck, and I can just.
No, but I mean on the roof when you're working, you usually standing up like this.
Either or. If it's wet, it's a plastic base, so it's not going to get wet. Mm-hmm. But I very rarely, like I said, since I've gotten older, I'm like, I'm not crawling all the way up there like that.
You got quite a that's an assortment of tools right there, dude.
Yeah.
So, what all do you have in there?
So everything from scissors to cut different types of things, and it's the Milwaukee scissors, so it can cut a little bit more industrial type things, to simple wire cutters, 2 different sizes of these nifty Nipex channel locks, 2 different sizes of your crescent wrenches. Of course, when you're trying to do gas valves, you need to be able to get on both sides. Cutters. Including for PVC pipe, electrical screwdrivers that are insulated and whatnot, some things that'll let you reach in and grab stuff.
Long needle nose.
Yeah,
you can get them out. That's way.
If I can get them out. Yeah. I've actually had these for a lot of years. These are Snap-on circa 1996. So I came out of the automotive business originally. So, and then the curved version of the same thing. Big giant wire cutters, things like that. I have this just to open the cabinet doors on Train S9 and those type of cabinets. Mm-hmm. Do have to do a lot of those. And of course, you got to have your level, because you're constantly checking to make sure the thermostat's level or that the unit is level, and that's part of it. And then you can't do much of anything without your inspection mirror. That'll get you around, see if you're.
That also, if you've got checking combustion on an appliance.
Yes.
So what is this tool here?
So that is for electrical connections. So the little castle nuts on it's literally a wrench that just does 2 different sizes. Either half
most
inch
people
and
don't have
3/4.
that.
No, this is another one I think everybody should have. I've always called these lav brushes because the first time I found these was Steve Lav on the internet, and he used these to clean coils and clean up everything. And I've had one in my bag now for at least the last 10 or so odd years. And if Steve's watching, thank you. That was a good recommendation. And then swagging kit,
Swagging tool.
Yep. Some other little things you can tell I do a lot of stuff with just small electronics and whatnot. Drill bits, whatnot.
What's in the little pouch here?
So a little forward pouch, I carry my, this will be good. I carry my cheater.
The Widowmaker?
Yep, the Widowmaker.
So this is a Widowmaker. They sell these. You can buy these at Johnstone and other warehouses.
Yep.
But you can plug these in so you can use the 220-volt circuit. Don't recommend it, but you can to run 115 volts if you have to.
I've had to do that several times. I got my popper so I can just stop.
So this little popper here, this is so if you're tripping instead of blowing fuses, you can just reset this real quick if it blows.
Yeah. Then one of my favorites here that I've had this for years, and this is called the old switcheroo, and it's basically just a magnet and you open up the cabinet door and you can stick this thing over the safety switch on the furnace and it'll keep it on. That's
the door
the
switch.
whole purpose of that thing is just to do that. And then you can tell I'm an old train guy because I keep the actual coated screws. So when I go out and I'm working on a cabinet and I'm like, oh man, these guys lost the screws, I can put the screws back.
Okay.
So one of those.
So anything else on this side besides that?
No, that's pretty much it.
Okay.
There's one little pouch up here, and in there I have one of my piercing probes that should be in my other bag. And then I've got some little hook connectors and stuff like that that also should probably be in my other bag.
Okay, so what's on the other side here? You know,
The other side I've got small tray mixed parts. Let me set this thing back in.
Got to put the drill gun back in. There you go. So
those new Milwaukee 12-volt impacts are.
You think this
great.
weighs about 50 pounds? We'll weigh it and we'll put it on there. The weight
Yeah,
on
at
it.
least. So
you got to undo this little hook thing right there?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's got to come loose.
Open it up. So I carry my drill with my step bit on it. I just leave the step bit on that. This came in the same kit as the impact driver. I'm forever drilling service ports and test ports in people's furnaces, air handlers, and stuff like that. So I just keep the bit on there, and that's we're good to go.
Sweet.
And then I carry the little tray of miscellaneous parts, fuses, wire nuts, connectors, screws. And then I got some angle fittings for doing work on refrigeration, and particularly with the mini splits. You got to come at an angle sometimes. So that's really about all I carry in my bag.
So you don't use this one that much anymore, right? So
just for basic tools.
Just for basic tools.
And that's why I don't have to take it with me. I just grab what I think I'm going to need. Lockout, tag out. Got to have that.
Got to have a lockout tag out if you're working on electrical. Okay. Or equipment, because you need to turn off the equipment and make sure nobody just turns it back on.
I'll tell you, the other thing that's nice about that meter is so much of what we do right now is based on frequency. So the onboard computers are literally communicating with frequency, or they're communicating on 12 volts. And you got to have the right meter to be able to read that, or you're kind of stuck. You're not going to be able to go much farther.
So let's take a look at what's this big red bag here.
The big red bag. Okay, so part of what I do a lot of is building performance, and so we're doing load calculations on every house that we do, and I need to be able to go in there and figure out what we need to do for the customer. Is it just a matter of replacing the boxes, which it never is? Do we have significant problems, stuff like that? So this is mostly all test equipment. As you'll see, this is my box of mini manometers. So I've got my Fieldpiece manometers. These are great because these go right to my cell phone. And
those are job link Fieldpiece.
Those are job links.
Yep.
I always just keep my static pressure probes on them. I've used these to do gas valve adjustments and stuff like that. But I'll tell you what's even easier is breaking out your dual port manometer that does just A and B channels, and it has a little vacuum pump on it. So if you want to test your right on the tip of my tongue. So I'm not
vacuum switch.
Vacuum switches.
Pressure switches.
Pressure switches, right.
They're vacuum switches.
Yeah, exactly. See what happens when you get out of the field and you're not doing this stuff anymore? So this does pretty much, all of the above. So I can do that. And then there's also, I have my spy camera. The spy camera is pretty cool. It links up to my phone. It has a very long, semi-rigid cable that goes down. I can send it into combustion chambers. I can send it down duct systems. I can even send it up flue pipes.
How long a cable is it down?
This is maybe 6 feet.
6 foot. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you don't really. If you want more than that, you need something bigger.
It's got a light on it, so
What else we got in here?
Oh, all kinds of stuff. So, here's something you're probably interested. This thing right here. Do you know what this is?
Do I know what it is?
Yeah.
It's a pressure pan.
Yes. So this is my pressure pan, and it goes with me everywhere I want to go. And what I do is I hook up any one of my manometers to this, and it plugs in right here on the backside. And let me see if I can get it in the camera. It just hooks up a hose there. And then basically all you're going to do is you're going to go around to a light switch, a plug, pretty much anything. And you're going to measure the difference.
So if there was a plug right here, I could just put that on there and measure the pressure difference between it.
So one of the things that this will tell you is, for instance, if you've got an air leak that's coming down from the attic on a light switch, when you go over the top of this with your pressure pan, you're going to notice that the pressure goes up. That's K-type thermocouple for taking temperature readings, stuff like that. Then I got tons of manometer hose, all kinds of manometer hose.
Camera.
Yep. Just peg the camera with it.
Yeah.
And then I have these little connectors. I buy these myself because I prefer them when I'm wiring up something like an XV series.
These are like Wagos?
They're like Wagos, yeah. They're exactly like that. They're a little bit cheaper, but we're only talking about 12 volt and 24 volt, appliances. And a lot of times we're having to put a lot of wires into one thing. What's nice about those is in most of the communicating systems that we sell and install, you can't double up. You can't gang up 5 wires, put a wire nut on it and expect it to work. It won't work. The resistance is just too high. This eliminates that. And I think they're about $1 a pop for all of that intent and purposes. I think this is drill bits.
Those are bits, yeah. Those are bits and chucks.
Yeah, bits and chucks. I carry a little bit of wire with me, some thermostat wire.
Mm-hmm.
I use a lot of this, and this is just to be able to...
tape?
Yeah, the basics is the single layer metal tape just to plug up the test ports.
Our test ports that we drill.
Yeah.
A lot of guys will buy the plugs. I don't buy the plugs. Tape is fine.
Yeah.
It'll work fine. You don't need to buy plugs.
And then I carry a little bit of flex tape and some butyl. It depends on what I've got to fix. A lot of times when I'm out there, I'm doing the test out process, and in the test out.
And you have a little bit of masking tape.
Yep.
And some extension cords here.
Yeah, I got an extension cord.
And then what's this little beauty?
Okay, so that's my pride and joy. So this right here is my Fieldpiece setup. This is all wireless. This is set up specifically to be able to communicate with the MeasureQuick system. So, for instance, I've got 3 pipe temperature probes.
So one's for suction line, liquid line, and discharge.
Right.
And then you've got one for supply, return,
and outside
air temperature.
Yeah. So you can measure all of
it might be pointing at the wrong ones.
Yeah, no, I try to
They're
keep
color coded, or you got it. So he's labeled them. So he labeled them with a pin.
Yeah.
So it will say on this one, it's not, but
so on this one it says liquid line.
Liquid line, and so he'll label them. You can label them so you know when you pull them out, because they have a color coding on these things, which are great. But if you've got 3 of them, one of them's going to be for something else.
Like my air probes, I've got that marked, supply air, return air, outside air. I don't know. Yeah, this one's outside air because I'm.
Make it simple.
Yeah, well,
make it simple.
I've got enough things to think about.
And then what is this little job right here?
So that is my other manometer. That manometer actually reads down into the hundredths of a Pascal. Very, very low. These are normally
So this is the Retrotec version of the DG700?
Yes,
okay.
The DG1000.
Oh, the DG1000. This is digital.
Yes, this is
a digital. They came out with this before the DG1000 came out. So when a lot of people were buying these ones, the Retrotecs, and not the Minneapolis Duck Blasters, because they had one of the few that had a digital one that was color. It had a color touchscreen. So
it boots up really fast, really easy. And I might have burnt out the battery, but let me see. No, there it is.
There it goes.
DM32.
The DM32.
So
it's got Wi-Fi connection too, so you can run off Wi-Fi.
You can also gang these together with several other ones. So if you're actually using these to control blower doors or fans or something like that, you can gang them all together and just use one button and it'll turn all the fans on or all the fans off. This one though, what's nice about the Retrotec is Retrotec put the software in there that runs Minneapolis. So right now mine's set for a Minneapolis Duck Blaster Ring 2.
Because that's all I have. I don't have a Retrotec Duck Blaster or Retrotec blower door. So yeah.
But in any case, you can set this for inches of water column. You can set it for Pascals. You can set it for a lot of different things. You can just connect it up to your pressure pan and take all your readings. You can use it. Sometimes I'll actually do a duct test or I'll do blower door test using the Minneapolis equipment and then turn right around and see what the difference is on my Retrotec, and it's usually right spot on, right there. But now I have no doubt that it's right there. And this one will actually, I think you'll like this because it will do the True Flow.
So this does True Flow Grid too, which is really cool because the True Flow Grid is the new tool that we purchased that we use it's very, very accurate. We've compared it to our flow hoods.
Yeah.
And they're within 3 or 4 CFM of each other, which you can't, that's the margin of error that these tools actually have. They have a small percentage of error. So they're very, very accurate. I like the TrueFlow grid. It's very easy, very quick to use. So if this meshes with it, then the thing is, it comes with its own manometer. So
it'll also do its own exhaust. So the TEC has the the exhaust
fan.
So it'll connect to that. It'll do all of both the
you learned on Retrotec. I learned on Minneapolis.
No, actually, I learned on Minneapolis and graduated to Retrotec, but I've actually only taken the duct testing class from Retrotec. I've taken all the classes from Minneapolis. So, but really nifty tool, very easy to read. It's all menu driven. There isn't. It's very simple. There's no thought process involved. So I was really happy with that. So
okay. So what do you think you got involved here with all the tools right now, dollar wise?
Dollar wise,
I think about $4 or $5 grand.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So
yeah, about that.
Yeah. So and the Retrotec, the DG30. If you're just going to buy this.
That was about $1,600 by itself.
Just for the manometer.
Yeah. And that's all, I just bought just the manometer.
Yeah, you didn't buy the flow.
No, I'd like to have, but no.
Yeah, so some of the stuff, now the nice part about the Retrotec is if you ever use the Minneapolis duct blaster, they have a round body and supposed to put like little saddles under it to hold it to keep from rolling. Retrotec made theirs square, which is just, square things don't roll. Round things do, and like Gary Wolin always says, square don't roll. That's what they should have done. I don't know why they made it. They didn't have to make it round. They just did.
Well, they did make those nifty little styrofoam kind of feet.
That's what I'm talking about. The little saddles you put it on, and you set the flow hood on. Duct blaster.
Essentially, that is what's in. Oh, one last thing is very important. Everybody should carry a.
So everybody should carry one of these, but the other thing they should carry is you can go to NCI site and buy this directly. You don't have to go to the classes, but you buy their little clipboard, and it has a duct chart on it that tells you what size duct. So if it's like 200 CFM, it'll tell you what size duct it should be, whether it's flex or hard pipe. And it's very, very cool. But a ductulator, you got to have a ductulator.
I believe that it also has total equivalent lengths on the fittings and stuff like that. But you got to keep that with you. The other thing that I found is really good is an app for your phone is Blue On. You can get just about all of the data you need for the manufacturers, even for units that are 20 years old. You can get the installation guide, you can get the service guide, you can right there on your phone as you go. Everything. So there's plenty of tools out there for us to do our jobs better. It's just up to us whether we put it in our head to want to do the job better.
Yep. Okay. Well, do you have anything else you want to
add? No.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. Thanks for watching.
Yes.
And please like and subscribe. And you guys are going to get more of this. I'm going to try to do every tech we have and what they carry in their tool bag. So, again, thanks for watching. See you later.
Now I get to put all this stuff back in a bag.
Well, that's the problem. Because you put it back in. I gotta go edit all this stuff.
It all fits in there a certain way.
All right.